O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down in the driver's seat and when I rise up through the gears. You discern my thoughts from a car.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's been a while, hasn't it? Yes, it's been an age. Well, I have an excuse in that I have just discovered TikTok and I'm on TikTok. So if you're very welcome to follow me over there. It's just very, very, very silly stuff. Whereas I think I'm going to keep the YouTube thing for both viewers. For the benefit of both viewers, I'm going to keep it reasonably serious. So, what is it that has irked me recently? Well, it's a long, convoluted way of talking about something, but just back from holiday. Well, holiday isn't, but 4 days away. Nice break, helping Amanda's blood pressure, all that stuff. So I noticed we went mainly around the hotel, which was touristy area, usual sort of stuff. But one last day, the last day, went to a little rural village up towards the mountains. Little whitewashed, cobbled, streeted village. Very, very nice, very picturesque. Beautiful, beautiful, absolutely beautiful, beautiful. But noticed things like, for example, a bottle of beer in the resort, in the touristy bit, would normally cost you about €6. A bottle of beer up in the nice little rural village, €1.40. What? And that reminded me of all the wonderful things that come with capitalism, i.e. fleecing people for maximum profit. And that, again, triggered something in my brain. I remembered hearing about people who were involved in tax avoidance schemes. Now, this is different from, it's not tax evasion, because that's an illegal thing. But there is a legal thing called tax avoidance, where you can, say, defer payment of tax for 5 years, or you can offset it against something or other. There are all these different sort of things I don't understand, that I don't understand. And it's perfectly legal. You can do it. But, accelerate. But not everybody avails of it. It tends to be only richer people who seem to seek out these sorts of schemes. The rest of us, the vast, vast bulk of taxpayers, are on the pay-as-you-earn scheme. So we pay our tax every month out of our pay slips. And that's the way it goes. And I thought to myself, what would happen if every working person decided, no, the PAYE scheme, no thanks, don't want to do that. I'm going to defer my tax for 5 years. It's perfectly legal. What would happen? The entire system would collapse. Because then every single working person would be paying no tax, no money would be coming into the exchequer, the treasury, for 5 years. And then schools would collapse, and hospitals, and defence, and roads, and all these other sorts of things. They would all utterly collapse. But, of course, it's a perfectly legal thing to do. Why wouldn't we do it? I imagine that if most people decided that they were going to go on one of these tax avoidance schemes, that the Treasury, HMRC, would come down fairly quickly and say, not happening, simply because there would be a lack of tax coming in. But it's strange though. Whenever only a few people are doing it, it's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. And sometimes, let's not be too cynical, sometimes the people who defer tax or avoid tax for 5 years, when it comes to them, they should have 5 years worth of tax to pay in one lump. But of course they find something else. Oh, some dreadful loss. Oh, I would love to pay that 5 years worth of tax. Oh, but I can't. Oh. You know, not to be too cynical. So if everybody decided, as I said, to go on tax avoidance, Treasury would put their foot down and it would be scrapped. And what it shows you is that the rich get away with a lot of things, and the bulk of what's going on in society is paid for by ordinary working people. It's ordinary people on not very good incomes who pay their tax through PAYE. That's the only thing that keeps the health service running and the Navy afloat and schools open and all those other things. If it were left to rich people, there would be nothing for anybody. And this notion, scratchy leg, this notion of trickle-down economics is such a joke. It was sort of put about in the 1980s, part of the Reagan sort of era thing, that rich people, their wealth, their enormous wealth, trickles down, overflows, and then benefits the wider society. And so you get huge businesses, or people who own huge businesses that pay zero corporation tax, that say, oh, well, actually I do pay tax. I pay it because I employ 1,000 workers. Yeah, and they all pay tax. You don't personally pay any personal tax, but the people you employ pay their share, their fair share of tax. So this whole trickle-down economics thing is just a joke. It's just a nonsense. And the truth is that the bulk of society is kept afloat by people who are not particularly well paid, by people who pay their tax, that don't try to look for ways to avoid it legally or whatever. And if there weren't decent, hard-working, honest people, or relatively honest people, who just paid their tax month after month, then society would collapse. In other words, the rich do nothing, and it's the poor who carry the burden for everyone. Anyway, I sort of got rambled away there, got a bit confused at some point, bit confused, because because of traffic and mosquito bites on my legs that I had to scratch. But anyway, hope you're doing well. Look after yourselves, look after your friends and your neighbours. Pay your tax, because we all do, most of us pay our tax. And sure, I will see you some other time soon. And don't forget, look for me on TikTok, SimonH372. I'm there waiting for you, and it's very childish, pure and silly, but you know, c'est la vie. Okay, bye bye.